What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Uncomfortable Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Allen, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think needs to be talked about more. I don't think it's talked about nearly enough. And it's just something I really feel called to address, and it's on my heart this week. And that's essentially just feeling down in the dumps. And honestly, a lot of that comes from this week, just to be vulnerable with you. I've been feeling a bit of that myself, and I've been feeling a bit down the past couple days. And I don't totally know why, but that's just kind of how I felt. And so it's something I felt like was worth breaking down, was worth diving into with you all today. And ultimately, what I want to do here is provide a resource so that when you're feeling these feelings and when these feelings surface and when you're maybe feeling down in the dumps, you have someone to turn to, you have something to maybe help walk you through this a little bit and help you feel a little better. So doing this for you and for me, but I do want to, before we get too deep into this, I want to offer a quick disclaimer and just say that, look, I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert. Just sharing my own opinions through my own experiences with all of this. I recommend that if you're seriously struggling, go, talk to someone who can actually help you. Go talk to a professional. And honestly, whether that's a therapist, counselor, psychiatrist, whatever, I can't recommend that enough to you. I honestly think that's something everyone should look into. But I went and saw a therapist for a while and been taking a break, but it's something I want to do again in the somewhat near future. So anyways, all that just to say, I recommend that if you're really struggling, please go seek professional help. But anyways, that out of the way, let's kind of start. I'll just start by telling my own experience with these feelings and with the struggles, just so you can get a little bit better perspective and see more where I'm coming from through it all. So essentially, I've mentioned a little bit on here before and various places that I struggle with mental health stuff. I struggle with different anxiety, some depression. And so, naturally, down in the dumps is something I'm familiar with. So like I mentioned, the past couple of days, I've been feeling a bit down. And look, we gotta be honest, like this is an uncomfortable thing for me to talk about and to share with you. I don't like sharing this side of me. I like to pretend everything's great and good and I'm thriving, and that's not always the reality. And so I always want to be raw, real, vulnerable with you, because that's what I promised when I started this whole thing. And so that's why I'm sharing all this with you. And we're not going to dive too deep into my side of it, but just to give you a little background. So that's something I've struggled with for many years. And then, like I said, I was in therapy for a while. And for the greater part of 2021, I was really struggling. And there was a lot of change, a lot happened. Most of it was very good. But nevertheless, it was hard. And I don't think I ever, took the right time to process it. And so I struggled a lot. I really did struggle a lot in 2021 for the greater part of the year. I was really struggling with anxiety and depression and just feeling really down a lot. And I'm not even just, whatever. But yeah, I struggled with that a lot through last year. And then started 2021 really strong. I really have. A lot of that I credit to this podcast, to Into the Uncomfortable as a whole. Through doing all of this, I've really been chasing a big passion of mine. And through doing that has lifted my spirit so much, and that has helped me and filled me up so much more. And it's been a good thing. It's really been a great thing, and I'm grateful for it. And so I think that's why it caught me so off guard just the past couple of days when I've been feeling a bit down. And it's like, whoa, where did this come from? This old familiar feeling. And so I think one thing I want to say with that is don't suppress your feelings. you got to make sure you're feeling your feelings. And I'm actually going to talk more on that in a second. So table that. But yeah, so anyways, that's kind of just a little bit of my background with it. We won't get too much into me, like I said, but just wanted to give you a little background, let you know that this is something I've struggled with a lot. If this is something you struggle with, I mean, I think we all struggle with feeling down, at least to some extent. But especially if you struggle, with anxiety and depression, I hear you. I feel you. You are so not alone. And I'm here for you. But anyways, just wanted to kind of say that and to give you that background on me so you know. And now you know. But anyways, so this is still, like I said, to some extent, something we all experience. This feeling down, this feeling sad, this feeling down in the dumps, and just feeling blah. You know what I mean? It's a weird way to describe it, but you know what I mean? So just that feeling of just like, man, everything sucks. And I think it's something it's something we all feel, something we all experience. And so don't feel alone if you're feeling that, because you're not alone. But we each have our own individual struggles. We each have our own individual trials that we face. And, no one's to say that one's greater than the other. So know that your feelings are valid. And even, if maybe you don't feel that way, I can promise you, you're not alone. So feel encouraged in that. But let's dive a little deeper into why. Because I think at least this is how my brain works. I'm always trying to find the why behind things. A bit analytical in that way. But I just want to talk about what makes us feel this way. Like, why do we feel this way? What is the cause behind all of this? And there can be a variety of them. Likely it's going to be pretty individual to what you're going through, to what you're dealing with, to what your struggles are. So that definitely is going to vary. But in a general sense, let's talk about it. One of the biggest things, at least this is like I said, these are my opinions, what I've noticed in my life. One of the biggest things I've noticed when I'm feeling down is a lot because I'm not taking care of myself, right? I'm not doing the things to maintain my physical health, to try to work on my mental health, and I'm just not doing the things I know that I need to do. And then that leads to the whole spiral, because then I start feeling down, and then when I feel down, then I really don't have the motivation to do those things, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse, and it's a spiral, right? So maybe this is something you've experienced. Like I said, once again, you're not alone. This is something I experience often, and have experienced a lot in the past. But if we're not taking care of ourselves and doing the things we know we need to be doing, how can we expect ourselves to mentally feel good and to mentally be going strong and putting our best selves out there in the world? And yeah, I don't know. I think really, that's, and whatever it looks like for you. For me, I talk about working a lot on this podcast. I do. I talk about fitness a lot because it's something I'm so passionate about. And it's something that has helped me tremendously in my life. So for me, one thing that really helps me when I'm feeling down is to go work out, to go blow off some steam. Maybe it's not even going to be the best workout. That's fine. But I find that when I move my body, it makes me feel a lot better. And so there's actually a lot of scientific reasons behind this. There's a lot of scientific backing behind this about how when you're not moving your body and when you're not taking care of yourself, that's blocking pathways. I don't know all the exact science behind it, but it's literally blocking pathways in your brain that regulate your happiness. And so you're literally holding yourself back from happiness by not taking care of yourself. So that's something that I found a lot in my life is that helps when I'm feeling down in the dumps, is to go move my body. It might be the last thing you want to do, but afterwards, odds are you're not going to regret it. And whether that's you're just going for a walk, maybe you just go for a quick walk around your house. Just walk a couple laps around your house. Walk down the street and back. Or maybe it's go hit a hard workout. For me, a lot of times when I'm feeling down, a lot of that can lead to feeling very irritable and a little bit angry. So, what do I like to do? Here's what I did today. So today, this morning, I was feeling a lot of that. I was feeling very down. I was feeling very frustrated with some things in my life. I was feeling kind of fed up, angry, frustrated, and irritable. And I was like, okay, I got to do something about this. So what I did, I went to the gym and I hit a very hard workout. And I just pushed myself, and I crushed it. I'm going to be honest. It felt great. And it just really improved my spirits, and it helped calm me a lot. It helped give me a lot of clarity. At the beginning, before the workout, I was really frustrated, and I was just really mad, and I was just feeling foggy in my brain. And I was like, mad at this, mad at that. And I was just like feeling really upset and just like pissed off. And I was like, all right, I got to go just work out. I'm going to go do this. And I blew off some steam, and it felt amazing. Felt great. And afterwards, I'm not saying that made everything perfectly better. It didn't. But I felt a lot better, and above all, I felt clearer. And I think I don't know. So I just think essentially that's one way to take care of yourself. Another thing is the food you're putting in your body. So when we're feeling down, like I said, it's really easy to spiral. And it's easy to turn towards eating junk food and eating things that aren't going to help us. Things like that, bad food, sugar, that also hurts our brain. Like I said, I'm not a doctor here. I don't know I can't give you the exact scientific terms behind it all, but chasing those things and eating that and putting that into our body is actually hurting our mental health. You can do the research. A couple good resources are actually Dr. Mark Hyman, Drew Pruitt. They both have podcasts. They're great. They talk about this often. Go check them out if you want the actual science behind it. Be great to have them on one day. But anyways, but these things, when you're putting this junk food in your body, and when you're choosing what's comfortable in that moment, you're actually hurting yourself. You're literally sending yourself further down a spiral, which when you're in that moment feels fine. You're like, who cares? Nothing matters anyways. So what? Big deal. But you're hurting yourself, and you're bringing yourself further down, and you're going to stay where you are. You're going to stay down in the dumps, and you're going to have a really hard time getting out of it. If you're just filling yourself with junk, if you're not taking care of yourself. And then that also goes towards the more mental side of it, more than just your physical intake of food and whatever. What you're consuming on social media, what you're, taking in, if you're watching the news a bunch, if you're, what you take in is what you put out. And so if you're taking in a bunch of negativity, if you're getting caught in all of this, that's what's going to be put back out. That's what you're going to be putting back out, because you can only put out what you take in, right? So just keep that in mind. Just be conscious of your scrolling. Be conscious of your intake, of what you're consuming. And that even goes down in the music you listen to. I got a friend who is very adamant about, he says during his workday, he does not listen to any sad music. If sad music comes on, he hits skip. Doesn't matter how much he likes that song. Hit skip. Because he doesn't want to let anything, because he's watching what he's consuming. And if he's consuming something that's sad, that might trigger something in his mind, that doesn't mean bury it. But that means just watch what you consume. Just be careful. Pay attention. Take care of yourself. Going back to the physical side of it, watch what you're drinking. If you struggle with anxiety, watch your caffeine intake. I know that might seem obvious, but it's hard to do. I hear you there. big caffeine lover, and I struggle with anxiety myself. So I understand that. So that's I think one of the biggest ways that we can help overcome that is just start taking care of ourselves. Watch what we're putting in, and also to not just be careful of what we're taking in, but make sure we're taking in good things, taking in positive things, encouraging things. And then I think another big thing is community and who you surround yourself with, and just who you're around in general. And maybe you don't have a lot of friends. Personally, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. Especially not local to where I live right now. Very few. Currently, my best friend is my wife. And honestly, I love that. It's awesome. We have fun together and I'm content with it. But having people around you that can speak life into you is huge. And for me, that's her. That's Grace. That's what she does for me. She speaks life into me. And earlier, like I mentioned, before going to the gym, I was feeling really irritable, frustrated, and she was trying to talk to me and give me good wisdom and advice, and I was just like not having it. I was not hearing it. And then after the workout, like I said, it gave me clarity, and I was able to be like, oh, yeah, she's right. That makes a lot of sense what she's saying. I need to change my perspective. I'm the one that's in the wrong. And so essentially, point of all that is it comes down to you being able to take care of yourself, and then surrounding yourself with any kind of community that can speak life into you and can speak encouragement into you. And whatever that looks like, I know it's hard. And I know that over the past couple of years especially, we've dealt with a lot of loneliness. The loneliness epidemic in our world has skyrocketed, and it's hard. And a lot of us feel alone. And once again, I hear you. I feel you. But I want you to know you're not alone. You always got a line. You're not alone. I don't want you to feel that way, because you're not. You can always reach out to me. Contact info is in the show notes. And you've always got that line. You're not alone. We're all in this together. Like I said, this is something we all struggle with to some extent. We all have our own individual struggles. It's different for everybody, but nobody is 100% happy all the time, and if they are, they're a psychopath, frankly. So, but yeah, I think a big thing too, when we're trying to overcome these feelings of feeling down in the dumps, is seeking progress, not perfection. I think it's easy to feel like, well, I just want to be better, right? I don't want to feel this way anymore. Why do I have to feel this way? I just want to be better. Seek just getting a little better. It may take a long time, just be honest, before you're 100% where you want to be. It's going to take time. It's going to take work. Start today. Start putting in that work today. Doing those things to take care of yourself like we just talked about. Man, it's crucial. It's crucial that you're doing that you're taking care of yourself, and that you're putting in that work today, and that you're seeking just that little bit of progress. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be all the way better, to be perfect. It's not necessary. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're okay. You're right where you need to be. Okay? It's all going to work out. It's all going to be just fine. It really is. There's a quote I really like. I've heard it a long time ago, but it's something that stuck with me through the years. And it says, stop looking for the light at the end of the tunnel and start being the light in the tunnel. And whatever that looks like for you, however you perceive that, I just want you to keep that in mind. And remember to find a way to just be the light for yourself in your own life. Stop always looking for something better. Stop always waiting for everything to work out fine and to be perfect. Focus on making that little bit of progress, step by step, bit by bit, and just getting better, improving day by day, little by little, and being the light in the tunnel, making the most of the tough situations, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. That's what getting uncomfortable is about. That's what diving into the uncomfortable is. You know, these feelings are wildly uncomfortable. But man, if you were feeling down, if you were struggling, I'm here for you. You are not alone in any of this, okay? And I feel you. I feel your pain. I know the struggle. I really do. And so that's why none of this is a motivational thing. Like, you just need to switch your perspective. You just need to stop being what? No, that ain't what this is. Okay. And if that's what you came here for, I'm sorry, wrong place. Reality is, this is just going to be real, raw conversation. That's what I have promised you from the beginning, and that's what this is. And so, like I said, coming to you as a friend to just say, this is my piece on it all. It's not perfect. Like I said, you know, this week I've been feeling it myself. I'm in it with you. We're in the trenches together. And so even recording this right now is not something I honestly super want to be doing, but it's something I know I need to do because I want to provide a resource for you to know you're not alone and that we're in this together and that I hear you, and that I feel you, and I care for you. I do. If you're listening to this, I really do. So be gentle with yourself as you go through this process. Have patience with yourself as you're seeking progress, as you're taking this day by day. Have that patience with yourself and be gentle. Go easy on you. Take care of yourself. And I know that's way easier said than done. Like, trust me, I know. As I said when I started this podcast, a lot of this is me kind of just talking to myself, telling myself this. So I'm telling myself just as much as I'm telling you. I'm not talking down on you, not talking at you. But I'm telling you, and I'm encouraging you as a friend. Take care of yourself. Show yourself some love. Do something to chase your passion. And not in a way that might stress you out, but in a way that's going to fill you up. If you're creative in any way, create. If you're, I don't know, whatever it is that you do, whatever your passions are, whatever fills you up inside. Maybe it's just hanging out with family, grabbing a cup of coffee with a friend, spending some time alone. As a fellow introvert, I can tell you, I value my alone time so highly. So I hear you and I feel you if that's you. Take that time. You deserve it. Okay? If you want to put your best self out there, you've got to really take care of yourself. You've got to do it. And when you're feeling down, and when you're feeling, when you're struggling, you're going through it, try to remember that. Try to do something, especially if you can catch it early. The earlier you catch it, the better. You feel yourself start slipping, don't fall into that old feeling. Don't fall into it. That's the comfortable route, is honestly to fall into it. Though it's uncomfortable, it's a more comfortable thing to just let it happen and to just let yourself go to that place than it is to do the things to take care of yourself and to really help yourself feel better. But on that note, it's probably about the final thought, and then we're going to wrap up here. But on the note, I want you to also remember to feel your feelings. I did a video on this a little while back on my Instagram talking about it, one of my videos on there. But just the importance of feeling your feelings. You know, some days you're going to feel a little down. Allow it. Feel it. You're a human. Embrace that. Don't hide that. When we do that, that's what leads to collapse down the road. Okay, we cannot hold back on our feelings. We've got to allow ourselves to feel this and allow ourselves that experience and the human experience of feeling these feelings and feeling these emotions. Don't suppress them. Don't hide them. Okay? Don't, just let yourself feel those feelings. But then let them go. Don't hang on to them. Okay? Feel them. Recognize them. and then let them go. It's so crucial. It's so key. And that's where self-awareness comes into it all. Being able to look at yourself and be like, okay, I recognize these feelings. I recognize these thoughts, these emotions, the voices in my head. I know this is what I need to do. So it's all about finding the balance. It's all about, I don't have the perfect answer for you on how to do that. I'm learning that myself, but it's all about finding that balance between feeling the feelings, letting them go, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and doing the things you know you need to be doing. But also accepting that, tomorrow's a new day, and with every new day, you have a chance to make it a good day. And it really is ultimately what you make it. If you let your days and the outcome of your days and your perception of your days all be based on experiences you have and the things that happen throughout your day, you're going to be pushed around a whole lot easier than if you try to make the conscious choice to say, you know what, whatever happens, I'm going to just try to roll with the punches. Some days may not be great. That's okay. Every day may not be perfect. That's okay. But I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to focus on taking care of myself, being there for myself, being a good friend to myself, loving myself, and putting my best self out there. And whatever happens, happens. And I'm not a result of my circumstances. I'm me, and I'm just doing what I can, doing the best I can, and doing what I can to make today a good day. So I think we can kind of go into it with that perspective, and that's something I've been working on, because I tend to, you can ask people around me, I tend to spiral, like I said, and it's just like everything sucks. This week sucks. I'm just done. I just, I want change, whatever. And so I'm trying to work on that myself, on just breathing. It's okay. I'm going to let that roll off my back. It's all good. And, accepting that every day may not be a perfect day, but as long as I do what I can and I take care of myself, that's all I can do. My dad's got a saying, actually, that goes, I'm doing all I can, and that's all I can do. So as long as at the end of your day, you do all you can, that's all you can really do. Give it your best, put your all out there, and just take care of yourself. Above all, focus on taking care of yourself. Self-care really is more than just a stupid trend. It's more than just face masks and baths or whatever people make self-care out to be. It's doing the things to care for your health, both physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever else. It's taking care of yourself because you deserve it. And yeah. So if you're feeling down in the dumps, I just want to encourage you. First of all, you're not alone. Your feelings, they're valid. You should allow yourself to feel them to an extent and then let them go. Don't hang on to them. Don't let them consume you. Just because you have these feelings doesn't mean these feelings are you. So feel them, let them go. But I just want to encourage you, keep going, keep pushing, be the light in the tunnel. Don't sit around and wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. Seek gratitude. I'm just throwing random things at you now, but I will say a quick note, that is something that helped me a lot in the past. I haven't done this in a long time. I just thought of this right now. I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I used to gratitude journal every night before I went to bed. And that's something that helped me a lot. So maybe I'll start doing that again. Something maybe you should look into. But I know gratitude is something that also helps, because when we're focusing on what we're thankful for and the good things that are happening in our life, it makes those bad things seem a lot smaller and more insignificant. So helps us focus on what's really important. So anyways, that's about all I got for you. Like I said, don't hesitate to reach out if you need a friend to talk to. But I hope this was helpful. I know it might have been a little all over the place. Like I said, this week's been a bit rough for me as well. So my brain's a little bit everywhere right now, but I just felt like this was important to talk about. This is something I wanted to put out there for you and provide as a resource for you, and give you a little conversation, something to think about, and just a bit of a conversation with you, so you know you're not alone. But find some way to go take care of yourself. If you're listening to this, if you listen this far, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you could, please subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and leave us a like. That would mean the world. Also, would love to see a comment below with your biggest takeaway. Love hearing from you guys. So then also, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, one of the other major streaming platforms, if you could leave us a rating and review, that helps us out a ton with the algorithm and ratings and rankings and all that kind of stuff. And, just spreading the word. So helping more people. So if you could do that, just take 2 seconds to do that. I would greatly appreciate that as well. But regardless, thank you so much, especially if you listen this far. It really means the world to me. I'm grateful for all of you. And so if you're feeling down, if you're struggling a little bit, no, you're not alone. And I know I've said that a lot. I'm really hammering that point home because I think it's really important. And I know loneliness is a big thing in our world. And so it's something I don't want to take lightly. And but you're not alone. I'm here for you. And I appreciate you all so, so very much. And keep going, keep pushing, go be the light in the tunnel, go do something to take care of yourself. Until next time, keep on diving. What's up, guys? Jake here again. Just wanted to thank you real quick for listening to this episode of the Uncomfortable Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I ask that you would please go leave us a rating or review wherever you're listening to this. Really helps us out, really helps us tell more people about the uncomfortable and to help more people live fulfilled lives. So if you could go take 2 seconds to go do that, that would mean the world. Now go take one actionable step towards your dreams today and to apply what you heard here on this episode. You got this. I'm rooting for you as always. And once again, thank you so much for listening to the Uncomfortable Podcast.
Take yourself out your comfort zone. If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me.
Comfort is overrated. We've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.